What's good, YouTube? It's your boy 2K31 Mainstream. I do not know why I just said that. That is my old YouTube name. But if you guys remember from back in the old dinosaur days, that used to be my nickname on YouTube, 2K31 Mainstream. But you might be wondering, LOSOGAMING, where have you been? We've been seeing you post videos, but I know none of y'all are asking that. But anyway, I got banned on PlayStation, but so I've made my grand return. I've just been working home, sleep, just staying out the way, being me, just doing life stuff, getting into trouble. But anyway, on that band situation, that is a whole nother story time to tell you guys, because the bull crap that was leading up to it and the stuff that happened afterwards was so stupid. So stupid. But anyway, we're not gonna dwell on that story time right now. We're gonna talk about the time my iPod got stolen. Man, by this time, I'm gonna rewind you guys back. Let's rewind it back. You know how J. Cole says. Let me take y'all back, man. But let me take y'all back to when I was in the 8th grade. I was going to the school, Forest Park Middle School. The new one, mind you, when it was built up. We were one of the first kids in the new school when I got there. Around the 7th grade year. That's, like I always say, the 7th grade year was the best time of my school life. Like I said, 10th grade rivals it. But when I got to 8th grade, everything just kind of went downhill. All the cool, fun people, they were gone. But the people that this story revolves around, we're gonna call him Mike. Mike was, a pretty cool dude. Well, I didn't really know him that well until the 8th grade year when he stole my iPod. But anyway, when we were, I don't know how I got the iPod specifically, but I think it was some type of gift, like for us kids that, went to this learning thing. We was at this pizza restaurant, and when we got finished with the thing, they gave us some iPods, for coming throughout for the whole 2 months or whatever. I cherished that iPod so much. I love that iPod. But this is the thing about it though. Everything that I brought to school was either stolen or lost. I can give you guys some cues on what was stolen. First of all, my Game Boy, it fell out of my backpack in the 6th grade. I don't know how that fell out. And when I was in the 6th grade again, in the same year, my PSP got stolen from me because it was sitting in my backpack and somebody went in there. Somebody went into my backpack and somebody literally went into my backpack and stole my PSP. I know the dude who did it now, but I talked to him. He's all cool and stuff now. He said he regretted doing it, but we were just cheering at the time. But anyway, let's get back on topic about my iPod. So anyway, Mike, well, I was always bringing this iPod to school, recording fights and stuff and whatnot. I used to have a camera too that I used to bring to school. I still got that in my closet right now. But on that iPod had some of the best memories that I had, people in there that I remember, just me going around taking pictures, recording in classrooms, and just being a dumb child at the time. I cherished that thing so much and I loved it, man. But this the thing about it, when you're kids, people be like, oh man, like I gotta get what he having, man. Where did you get that from? But Mike, he comes up to me because he's like, hey man, that's a pretty nice iPod you got there. I'm like, yeah man, I know. It's, I got it from this this pizza learning thing, because we were doing pizza, eating pizza and learning and whatnot, right? He was like, oh okay man. He said, can I get into it? I said, unfortunately it's over, whatever, right? But everybody knew I had my iPod on me. So one day I have my iPod and I'm sitting there recording. Stafford, he's doing something called a South Dallas swag. I'm gonna see if I can get the video up on YouTube and share it, because I know Stafford, he wouldn't mind, because to Stafford it was funny. It was funny to Stafford because I talked to him a few days ago. But he said that he was dancing, in the middle of the playground, whatever it was, the basketball court. I had my iPod out, I was recording them. You could hear us in the background. God go hit it, Stafford. Go, 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 go. I mean, just stupid stuff that we was doing, bro. So it was another time that I'm like, all right, Stafford wanted to do it again. So it was a big old crowd crowded around him this time. So Mike, he said, hey man, he said, you get in there with him and you go ahead and hype him up and stuff. I'm like, all right, cool. So I gave my iPod to him. That's where I was stupid as a kid. So anyway, that was red flag number one. He said, you get in there, I'll record it, right? I'm like, okay, cool. So I went in there hyping him up and stuff, and then all of a sudden the bell rings and I'm looking for Mike. I'm like, dang, I said, where's Mike at, man? Where is he at? And then I seen him. I said, Mike. I said, give me my where my iPod at, Mike? Nah, god dang it, that sound like 11 from Stranger Things calling out Mike. But anyway, I was calling his name. I'm like, Mike, come here, man. And he just looked at me. He just kind of had a smug look on his face and he walked off with it. I'm like, all right. I said, cool. I said, this dude claims, a piece of story too. This dude claimed to have been my cousin because it was someone that I knew. She was like, well, you're related to him and stuff. I'm like, well, I'm not related to the dude. So anyway, when I was going about my business, as y'all can hear, my mother's just walking in the house. She's fresh off of work from being a slave. But anyway, she can recount this story. Mama, come here real quick. So right now, YouTube, we're gonna call my mother Mama Loso. So Mama Loso, do you remember the time my iPod got stolen in school? I know you remember that really well. She's sitting shaking her head right here right now, saying that she don't remember. I was in the 8th grade. You know that, you remember you told the principal about it when he stole my iPod and wouldn't give it back? Okay, yeah, so I try to, bring some legitimacy in here so y'all can know that I'm not lying about none of the stuff I'm telling. So anyway, right? So anyway, as the school day is going on, I'm like, man, I said, Mike better get my stuff back. I seen him in the hallway again. I'm like, Mike, I said, can you give him my iPod, please? And then he was like, what are you talking about, man? He said, my iPod. I'm like, yeah. He said, well, let me just go home with it and let me go ahead look at it and stuff. I'm like, no, I was too scared to fight back then. I didn't know I could fight, but I found that out later on in the year that I was real good at fighting, whatever, right? So that's red flag number 2. He comes back to school with it the next day. I'm like, hey, Mike, where's my iPod at, man? He said, man, he acting all sad and stuff. He was like, man, somebody stole it, man. I had to get into a fight with someone out on my parking lot. I'm like, what? I'm sitting there, I'm like, what are you talking about? I said, what does that have to do with my iPod? He said, cuz, man, he said they wanted the iPod. He said, then my mama got slapped behind it, this and that. And I'm like, what? And then I'm like, bro, just bring me my iPod back. I'm sitting there, I'm trying to be nice. I'm like, look, man, I'm like, just bring me my stuff back tomorrow, please. And then he was like, man, he said, I'm going to, man, don't worry. He said, I just got to delete a whole bunch of pictures off the iPod. He said, I took a whole bunch of pictures. And this is when my puny little child brain I seen it coming, but at the same time, I was too stupid to think like he wouldn't do something like that. This is what he said. I just need the factory reset code to completely get all the pictures that I took of me and my brother off your iPod. Now, how does that sound, everyone? Someone that took your iPod is claiming, saying, hey, I want to erase all the pictures that I have of me and my brother off of your iPod. That doesn't make any sense, does it? But here I go, man. All right, man. Yeah, just the code is 444. 444, everyone. And then the next day, he comes to school, and I tell him, I'm like, hey, man, where's my iPod? And then he was like, man, that same dude came back and stole it. I'm like, I heard myself in the back of my head. I knew it. He erased my iPod, and he's gonna keep it. I already knew. I was too scared to fight because I thought he was gonna beat me up. But that's another story time on how we got into a fight. Like, this stuff has been building up for a few years. But anyway, he took my iPod and then he cleared it out. I'm like, all right. Apparently, I just lost my iPod. So y'all remember how I brought my mother in here just a few seconds ago. This is where she got involved because she was like, "Hey, where's your iPod?" And I'm like, "I lost it somewhere in my room. I don't know because I didn't want this going around the school that hey, Carlos got his iPod taken, this and that. Because I was thinking people was gonna be thinking I was weak, which I was scared to fight at the time, but I didn't want nobody to know that. So anyway, she calls up to the school and lets the principal know, hey, my son got his iPod stolen by some kid, whatever, right? So the principal, I was acting the fool, and when I came into school the next day, he was like, hey, Butler, come here. I'm like, yes. He was like, did somebody steal your iPod? I'm like, yeah. He said, who was it? I'm like, I told him who it was. I said it was Mike. So he called Mike into the front office, right? And he said I gave him back his iPod. I'm like, no, you didn't. And then he said he never seen this iPod in his life. So anyway, I didn't know he was leaving it. I didn't know if he was leaving it at the house, just to let the heat die down. But a few days later, Mike has a whole bunch of money on him. And remember this, that iPod has a crack on the back because it was glass on the back. And I'm like, where did Mike get all this money from? And I asked him, I said, hey, I didn't ask him, but I was wondering, I'm like, where is he getting all this money from? And all of a sudden, this popular kid at school, he pops up with an iPod. And I'm like, this dude cleared my iPod and sold it to one of these popular kids at school. I'm like, ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way he did that, dude. Ain't no way. And then here go my mother. She was like, well, you gonna need to get your stuff back because that is yours. I'm like, well, I said, he sold it. I said, what am I supposed to do? You know who he sold it to? I'm like, yeah. I said, I do, but I don't know where the dude stays at because we was getting ready to, go over there and tell his mother what he did and stuff. But at the same time, I didn't know where the dude stayed at, man. It was just a whole casserole of nonsense. But in the end, he got off of my iPod and he made like $800 from selling it. And I was pissed. I was beyond fierce about that situation. But so let's fast forward to the 9th grade year, right? So me and this dude, it was this other time, a few months after he stole my iPod, right? I think I was doing something because I was too stupid to, I was a real stupid kid. Like, I still wanted to be the dude friend after, he stole my iPod, whatever, right? So anyway, I popped him in the stomach while he was talking to some girl. And, he started swinging at me. And I was dodging his I was dodging his hits. And all of a sudden, I hit something, like my head hit something. Everybody stopped because they heard it. Then I rubbed the back of my head. I was getting ready to go up to Mike and start fighting him for real because I hit the back of my head. He made me hit the back of my head on the wall. Okay. And I was walking up to him. And I'm like, dang, I said, what is this wet going down my head? Rubbed my head. Lo and behold, I busted my head open. The back of my head was bleeding. I'm like, oh my God. Oh! And then this one dude, he said, mother, go to the front office. He pushed me and I started running up there. But I still got that scar on the back of my head. So anyway, let's fast forward to the 9th grade year, right? So I'm just minding my business, and this dude Mike, he's like being real aggressive towards me. He's thinking he's thinking that I'm the B word or whatnot, right? So I'm listening to this song called what is that song called? My Homie Still by Big Wayne and Big Wayne. Lil Wayne and Big Sean. I almost said their names backwards. Big Sean and Lil Sean and Big Wayne. But anyway, it was just one. Y'all know the part in the song if y'all listen to it where Big Sean, he's like little, and I looked at Mike and I'm like, you little, like I was mocking the song. And he already wanted to fight me because I was talking mad crap to him. And he just kind of smiled like, oh, I'm going to mess you up, man. I said, all right, man. He said, let's go to the bathroom and fight this out. I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm walking up to the bathroom all cool and collected. I thought I was getting ready to get whooped in that bathroom. So when we get in there, right? I'm standing, like, he take off his backpack and stuff. My homeboy come in there because, you know, his homeboys was in there. And my homeboy, I said, what you doing in here? I asked him, I said, what are you doing in here? Like, you just trying to watch the fight, whatever. And mind you, this dude, his name is Johnson. He was real streetwise. He was like, no. He said, I'm coming in here just in case that they try to jump you and anything, because they oh, sorry about that, y'all. I got something, I ate some peppers or something. I got some Panda Express right here in front of me. But anyway, he said, yeah, man. He said, I'm coming in here with you because these are all his friends. They might try to jump you. I said, okay, I didn't think about that. So anyway, me and Mike, we go to throwing hands, right? We throwing it. And then it was at one, I don't know why I did this stupid bull crap, man. It was at one point in time I knew he didn't stand a chance against me because I'm getting all these good licks in, right? We end up between the urinals, and I let my guard down a little bit, and then he puts his hands around my neck. He was like, die. He's shaking my neck and stuff. I'm pretending like I'm passing out, and I'm making noises too, like, like, bro, I'm literally sitting there faking like I'm getting choked out. And Johnson grabbed him by the back. He was like, hey, man, that's enough. And I'm like, I looked at Johnson, I winked at him. He just kind of looked at me. He was like, what the world? And then, so, y'all know how Thanos did Hulk when he pulled his hands apart from him. I did that to Mike, and then I punched him in the face. Mike kind of went stumbling back, and then I put him in a headlock, and then I started just wailing on his face, just wailing. And then the fight was over. That simple as that. I walked out, I said, man, don't you ever get smart or get loud with me again. I said, don't you ever. I said, that was from my iPod that you stole last year. Mike was mad. He was in the bathroom, face all, I think I broke his nose or something. He was just mad, just real mad. And one of his friends said, hey, man, he said he want a rematch. I'm like, I ain't rematching that little punk. So after that, a few minutes later, his other cousin, like, it was a few days later, because y'all remember Mackie that I was talking about. Mackie came up to me. He was like, hey, he said, I heard y'all jump my cousin in that bathroom. I'm like, bro, what? I said, it was only 2 of us and 5 of them in there. I said, how was we gonna be able to jump him? And then he just looked at me. He was like, all right. He said, whatever. I'm like, all right, whatever, man. So anyway, that was that, man. You know, that was that. I mean, that situation was so stupid, you know. But I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. If you did, drop a like and subscribe, and, you know, comment something that happened to you when you were in school. Nothing too bad now, but I will see you guys in the next video as I'm getting ready to go eat my Panda Express. Peace out.